So yeah, anyways, it's Politics Stream 8 or 9. Today we're going to be talking about a short. The first thing is going to be very short. It's about Steven Crowder saying something stupid, which basically means just watching a regular Steven Crowder video. I think he was getting triggered over a black James Bond. I saw some other leftist streamers talking about it too, so I'm interested to see like how this is gonna go. I'm gonna guess he's gonna say something mildly or maybe overtly racist or something like that. Let's see. Now we're gonna watch the short and let's see if we can find the longer video of it. Did anyone else see the full segment of this? It was unabashedly racist in the most insane way I've seen from a popular channel yet. It's so weird because conservatives keep whining about how everyone calls them racist, and then each time I actually watch them talk, they're more overtly racist than I ever remembered. Wow, stunning, bravo y'all. Yep, you are hit it right on the point. Why is it when a character is black, everyone wants to talk about their race, but when a character is white, nobody says anything? That's a fact. You say that black characters should be played by black people and white characters should be played by white people, but what about the outrage when Rue, a black character from the Hunger Games, was cast as a mixed girl? You aren't happy unless everyone is white because that makes you feel better. Why can't Annie be played by a black, probably mixed girl? Why can't James Bond be a black British man or woman? Why does their race matter at all if it's not a historical film? People who get outraged at this are the same people who say black lives don't matter every time they see a black person walking down the street. You all are silly. Absolutely. So basically, from what I'm seeing, the comments are roasting the shit out of Steven Crowder, as they should. I'm so glad that this is happening. Apparently the full segment is incredibly racist. I gotta go check that out. But everybody's on point. Like, why are they getting so triggered? It doesn't matter. If it's not a historical movie, why does the race or the gender of the character matter that much? It really does. Unless you're talking about a very specific person. It's like a historical, like factual, like a docu-series, documentary, or a Hollywood version of it, a movie of it. Why does it matter? It shouldn't. But the reason you're getting triggered by it is because James Bond is something that you love and you view as an ideal masculine guy or something, and now it's going to be a black guy. That kind of makes you go, oh, I don't want to see that. I don't like black people. So let's just see. Steven Crowder, James Bond.
Daniel Craig, this is something that's been making the rounds, and it's very clickbaity. I want to be clear. A lot of headlines are like, he said he doesn't think a woman should play James Bond. The truth is he was trying to respond in a woke way, so yeah. I'm not condemning him either way. I think his response was actually pretty reasonable. However, because of the way the news cycle works, and because it's relatively slow, and Joe Biden has disappeared on vacation, they need something to talk about. But it still is interesting to see the response from people. So in an interview with the Radio Times, he explained, Daniel Craig, why James Bond shouldn't be played by a woman. And he said there should simply be better parts for women and actors of color. Why should a woman play James Bond when there should be a part just as good as James Bond, but for a woman? Well, how about a non-crappy part? Because James Bond is not...
they've tried that.
It's not the best film.
No.
It's not really it's like a dog bringing you a dead bird and they think like, huh? You're like...
I mean, why can't there be a female James Bond? James Bond doesn't necessarily have to be male. Yeah, I get it, there should be other parts too, but having a woman as James Bond would be pretty cool too. Like, James Bond's more of an idea, like more of a, like of this being this suave, slick, cool British spy, and that's basically it. Like and then you can fill in the blanks the way you want to, but you just they gotta be British, they gotta be a spy, they gotta be cool, they gotta be like competent with like weaponry, and they gotta be like super smart, and that's it. You don't actually really need a male or female or whatever gender, trans or non-binary. You can have anything of James Bond. Honestly, I think you can make it work.
No.
I have no use for this. We don't said Julia Roberts to Doctor. No, it's the wrong size.
Is this supposed to be funny?
I couldn't think of a current female star.
No. They don't exist.
There's less police.
They don't exist. Casual misogyny.
I enjoy them more.
Yes.
If you want to see what this would look like, just watch Atomic Blonde.
Yeah,
you'll know.
that's what I said.
This is not going to be good.
They've tried it multiple times. It doesn't
Well,
work.
by the way, we have an exclusive. We have exclusive audio. So this was an interview, an audio interview, and we actually have exclusive audio that didn't make the rounds and surprised me.
No.
So you really feel a woman shouldn't play James Bond?
See, now you're putting words in my mouth. I simply said there should be parts, there should be better parts for women, not just repackaging old roles that were written for men. Yeah.
But times are changing, and Bond is a great role. I think women should have a turn at playing the greatest secret agent ever.
Yes, because women are just so marvelous at keeping secrets.
Pardon?
Never mind.
What if a female person of color played James? Like an Asian?
I mean, the casual misogyny saying that women don't... See, I don't take this as a joke because of what Crowder said, right? If this was just a normal comedian saying that, where it's like, oh, okay, haha, women can't keep secrets because they blab a lot. Like, that wouldn't strike me as misogynistic, although I wouldn't find it funny. I don't think it would be misogynistic. But because it's Steven Crowder, So I'm going to look at it through the lens of this is Steven Crowder, right? So to me, that's definitely gonna probably what he actually believes, right? We've seen him.
Asian woman.
Well, I suppose that'd be nice to see. James Bond driving 5 undercutting endless fender benders.
What about a black woman?
What? What the I don't even get that stereotype. What did he just say?
See James Bond.
Like an Asian woman.
Well, I suppose that'd be nice to see. James Bond driving 5 undercutting endless fender benders.
What about a black woman?
Oh, of course, the racist joke that Asians can't drive.
Tenet was close enough.
So why don't you just continue playing James Bond?
I don't know what Tenet is.
Because I'm starring in the new Wonder Woman.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm surprised that didn't make the round.
That's hypocritical, kind of, at the end.
It is.
I don't know,
Patriarchy.
yeah.
I mean, that's so not funny at all. Like, I don't even know how people find him funny. Even if you're conservative, how do you find Steven Crowder funny? I don't get it. And racism plus misogyny in one little clip. I mean, that's freaking Steven Crowder in a nutshell, man.
I can't wait to see
I don't know if he's woke or anti-woke. It's like Tenet. What's happening?
Yeah, you don't get
It's
it.
backwards.
And no one does.
Time.
Look, a couple of things. First off, there should not be a woman James Bond doesn't work. Let me explain to you why.
Why?
The whole point is James Bond is atypically charming in that he's able to get women to sleep with them, right? And pump them for information. The truth is, it's usually a skill set that most men don't have. Myself notwithstanding, I'm tall, rich, and funny, so I have the hat trick. But I'm married. Ladies,
Okay, so because he sleeps with women and he's charming, that's what he usually is. That means he can't be anything else. What can't be a female who's charming and sleeps with guys, or it can't be gay or whatever, other pansexual, other sexualities that I can't really think of that I don't know of right now. It can't be any of those. It can only be straight. I disagree, Steven.
but the point here is, it's not
the
impressive.
market.
It's a man trying to get women to sleep with him.
Yeah.
He's charming enough. A woman just needs to say yes. You remove half the dynamic of James.
Yes, it's that easy. A woman just says yes, and then boom, she has it. It's like, nah, because she wants to sleep with a guy who she actually trusts, won't try any funny stuff. Like, it's not that easy for women to just get with a guy that they like. Sure, if nobody had any standards in terms of who they sleep with, in terms of, oh, I'll sleep with, how do I say this? It's like, it's not easy for women because it's not like they can simply say yes and then boom, they get all the sex they want. It's like they have people that they want to sleep with, and they have their own standards of beauty and personality. So it's not that easy to find someone they want to sleep with. Some people don't have, more flexible standards. Some people are more stricter standards. And I don't think it works that way all the time, right? Because there are different types of sexual. There's one thing called demisexual, where I think you only want to sleep with them once you get to know them, or something like that. Like, they might have when they have an emotional bond with the person, right? They can be of any of the straight, bisexual, pansexual, any gender identity, but there are people like that, right? So that's a completely blatantly huge generalization without taking into account of all the different sexualities that all of us have. But in this case, we're talking about women. They can't just say yes and then, oh yes, and then it happens. Because y'all will shame them if they're too sexually forward. Y'all will shame them and don't want to sleep with them. So it's not that simple, right? You know what I mean? It's not that simple. Conservatives, right-wingers, and these kind of crazy people will say, oh, you can't be too sexually forward. And then they'll turn around and say, well, it's easy for them. While you put up all these standards of how women can and can't act, right? So I think it's a little weird for you to say that, honestly. Because it isn't that simple for women. Especially if they want to, most women, if not all women, have things they do like and don't like in personality and looks. So it's not that simple for them to just say yes and then sex happens. Right, I think that's a bit weird.
James Bond, and there have been plenty of female spies. Of course, it doesn't work because they're physically the weaker of the sex. Also,
because spies are renowned for their ability to lift weights and throw cars and bench press 400 pounds, right? It's not like they're totally meant to be covert operatives that use a freaking variety of weaponry and like things like that to get their goals. You know, there have been female spies in history, right? In actual life, there have been plenty of female spies, and they've been good. The best spies we don't even know, right? Because they're so good, that's why we don't know them. But the idea, because they're physically weaker, that they can't be spies, that's ridiculous. Like, spies are not frontline soldiers carrying like a 200-pound, I don't know, like a RPG and just going boom, boom. Like, they're quiet, they're blending in, they're sort of, you know, that kind of thing. Obviously, there's different types of spies, but spies are not James Bond and the other like spies. Yes, sure, there's a lot of action in the movies, but he shoots a lot of people more than he fights them. Am I wrong? Because I feel like he shoots them. He has all these techs, like the car he uses to shoot people with and to do all the fancy stuff. It's not really a physical sort of role. I mean, he can be, and I've seen that, but it doesn't have to be. So that's kind of a stupid argument.
Shaq! There are plenty of black male action heroes.
Richard Roundtree is and will always be the only Shaft.
He will only
anybody
yeah,
says.
the only one.
Yeah.
Well, I think it makes sense to have a black James Bond. I don't have a problem with it because you're pulling from
It
a
makes
culture.
zero
His name's
sense.
I think
James
it's
Bond
perfectly
and he's a
fine.
white
Really,
guy.
it makes sense to
Ian
have Idris
Fleming's a
Elba
white.
on a tarmac undercover in Siberia. Oh, where is this spy? I don't know. The only not white thing in whole peripheral.
Yeah, it's not good when
I mean, you're completely making it about race. Like, you say, why are they injecting race into this? And then you proceed to inject race into this. It's like you're projecting yourself, like projecting your own thoughts on other people. Like, bro, nobody really cares that it's like, oh, it's a black James Bond, what do we do? James Bond's race isn't the big deal. It's his nationality more than anything. It's the fact that he's British and that he's like, you know, suave and stuff. Right, he's cool and he knows how to shoot things, and he's a really good spy, and he's really smart, and he can figure things out. He's a great problem solver. Like, that's who he is. It's nothing to do with like race or even gender, really. They can alter the story for different genders if they want to. It's easy. It's like, I don't get it, man. I don't know. Like, I feel like he's just mad that it's a black James Bond because he doesn't want to see a black James Bond. Like, he doesn't, you know, like, I think because he probably likes James Bond so much, and it's like, oh no, my favorite thing, now there's a black guy playing my favorite character. What do I do?
it's like, we're going to need you to be at the ball and ready to meet our contact at 11:43, and then they're like, guys, it's 1:30.
Oh
Where
my
is our spot?
god. That is so racist. Because the stereotype that black people are always late, you know, it comes from that idea that black people are lazy and all that, you know, all that racist shit that they've propagated over the years in America about black people. It's like, that's what he's doing. And the reason I'm not taking it as just a joke is because it's Steven Crowder's show, right? So it's never just a joke. He's a political guy who does comedy, and I'm going to put comedy in quotes because I don't think he's funny. Attempts to do comedy is a better way of putting it. And I think that's ridiculous. It's so racist. Like, they wouldn't be doing these racist jokes if it was a white guy. Like, we know that. They won't be making racist jokes, like, or jokes that you know, jokes about the James Bond's race if he was white. It's only because he's black that they're doing this. It's ridiculous.
Look, the script would have to change a little, granted. No, but I think
Did you turn my Ferragamos into a phone?
What the?
I
What
have
you
a
do to my
cat.
watch? What the
What
fuck
is
with
this?
my watch and my car? I can't. You look. I can't see the plate on the car. You know what's gonna happen with 5-0? I'll get pulled over for that shit. I can't do that shit. Dropping spikes and shit. I ain't.
Wow. I am actually watching this, dude. Oh, jeez, I have the video up. But I'm in shock, dude. Am I actually saying this? Like, this is so racist that I'm in shock. Like, that is like this type of overt racism is allowed on YouTube, and it's just what? I'm in shock, bro. No way. He's doing like a black voice, and oh my god, this is disgusting, bro. Oh my god, oh man, I'm sorry I can't say much. I'm a bit in shock. I'm pretty much. Jesus Christ, this is insane. Oh my god, I gotta see more of this.
I don't Roger Moore moonrake motherfucker. And the problem is, then he's gonna take out the anti-aircraft guns to put in subwoofers. Hit the button.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't say
You need
put
the
Chris
tunes, I
Rock
know
The
in
turbo. That
Yeah.
just plays Drake. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
just
say
sitting in a
put
bar,
James-
you hear a building explode, and he's like, "Is it Wednesday?"
Oh my god, this is so racist. I can't believe this. I'm gonna have to dislike this. Wow. I'm in shock. I can't believe this. What is this? Jeez.
Look, we didn't say put Chris Rock in the role, okay? Like, he's not going to be that guy.
Chris Tucker.
Idris Elba, Rock Tucker, either way.
Idris Elba, I'm gonna go with
He
you.
would
I
be
think
good.
would be
Idris
awesome.
Elba's
I
great in
think
any
it would
role.
be a good James. My point is here, it's they
But it doesn't
make it
have to be.
It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be. And my issue is they say, well, we need better representation. This is an issue where it's pretty equal.
Yeah.
It's
I think
pretty
so.
equal. I mean, look, James Bond was right. You're talking about Fleming. You go back to Broccoli. You go back to the history. It's a white guy spying on white people.
I know, I mean, but there's other countries he can go to. There's a whole part
Sure,
of the world.
yes.
You know?
This guy in the white shirt, I usually, from what the other Crowder videos that I watched, I never liked him. But the fact he's actually the voice of reason here. This is actually crazy. He's actually the voice of reason here, because he's trying to say it doesn't matter why, it's just James Bond. Crowder is basically making the argument that it has to be a white guy, and the reason I think that he wants it to be a white guy is because he doesn't like black people and he views them as lesser. And he doesn't like the fact that a black guy is going to be playing a role that is viewed as his, this amazing role, the ideal man, and he's going to be black. That, I think, really triggers Steven Crowder.
Yeah.
This is something
Let's
that
do
can
it.
happen. If I was a woman, though, I would be offended by this. I'm like, oh, so you can't create anything for us that makes sense for us, that fits. Like, you just have to shoehorn us into like, why aren't they pissed off about that they're being shoehorned into a male role and it doesn't work?
If James Bond were a woman, it would just be she'd just be a whore.
That's true. You'd be like,
Wow. So a guy can sleep around and he's not a whore, but a woman sleeps around, now she's a whore and now she's bad. Bro, the misogyny and racism in this freaking section or segment or whatever you want to call it is mind-blowing. I haven't watched the Crowder video in a while, so yeah, this is sort of like a refresher course in Steven Crowder's stupidity. But this is different. Misogyny, racism. He's doing black voice. He's doing the reason I put it in quotations because obviously, like, I don't think most black people even talk in that sort of exaggerated manner he was doing. Definitely, and of course, black people from different parts of the country and different parts of the world talk differently. Like, you have black people in Germany who speak German, and they're German, right? There's no sort of saying, oh, they're black people in Germany. No, they're German. So this doesn't, like, and there are black people in America who don't talk like this, man. And it depends on where you're from in America. You have different accents and stuff, and not everyone from the same area talks the same. It's disgusting. I'm sure you don't have to explain to the lefties, like, the fact that there is individualism in people, and the fact that he's doing black voice, and it's Steven Crowder doing it, mind you, which is what makes it, to me, more sus, because it's racist. It's him doing it. He's doing black voice. They're making all these racist jokes about the black guy being late and being used to violence and all that type of stuff. It's actually shocking. And now they're saying that a woman, she's physically weaker, so she can't play James Bond. As being a spy is about being physically strong and lifting weights, right? Right. If she sleeps around, and of course heteronormity, right? They're just assuming she's gonna sleep with the men. She's not gonna be lesbian or any other sexuality. It just has to be straight. Oh, she's a whore. But the guy doing it, no, he's an alpha. Arr, he's the alpha male, ideal male. Jesus Christ, man.
James Bond Bond is a male horse.
Like,
So I guess that works.
Yes, exactly. But you know what?
Yeah, but
That's
it's much
impressive.
easier.
Right.
Do you know why it's called notches on your bedpost? Because usually the response from women, and by the way, this is someone who has talked about not having sex with women until we were married. I advocate abstinence, and I actually think that we have a problem with degeneracy in the culture. So let's be really clear here. But it's notches on a.
You say James Bond is awesome and cool, and then you turn around and say that that you think is degeneracy in our culture because we're not waiting until marriage to have sex. Okay, buddy.
Bedpost, because the most likely response if a man tries to court a woman to copulate with her is no.
Most likely response. That's not really true. It depends on how good looking you are and the women you're asking and where you're. Like, it's so many different factors, right? That determine whether they're gonna say no or no. Yeah, so that's not really a great. I think that's too overgeneralized.
I got a lot of help.
Do you know the response to any man if you're a female secret spy? It's going.
Yeah.
In response to any man, if you're an evil.
Basically, the request is just, come on, that's it.
Unless it's Lizzo. I mean,
Well, at least you're
not
gonna
much of
have
a spy though.
you're gonna have a pregnant
Can't do the
flight suit
acrobatics.
for when they're carrying Lockjaw's baby.
Jesus, so now they're fat shaming, racism, misogyny. Oh my God, they're doing like, it's like, how much more despicable can I be? Like, that's what they're doing. That's the competition. Who's the worst? Who's the most despicable human being in that room? And they're having a competition right now. I'm laughing because this is shocking, right? Like, it's not like I'm finding this funny. It's just in shock of, oh my God, they're actually doing this. And I'm laughing at them, not with them. Like, at how despicable and pathetic they are. It's it's amazing how, like, people like this can actually function, bro. What? And they're like, oh, this idea that sex is easy for women, but men, it's hard. We have to go through so many hoops, and the woman only has to say yes. And no, first of all, there are guys who have sex easy. Let's be real. Come on, let's be real. There are men who have sex very easily. Top class, not class, but like dudes at the top of the ladder, or even guys who are not that well known, but they're good looking. They have very charming and confident. They can get women easy. For example, look at Hassan on Twitch. I mean, yes, he's rich and well known. Maybe not the best example, but like just the guy who isn't rich or well known, he can get women easily. Of course he can. They can. You kidding me? Like, and there are women who have it difficult because maybe they don't deal. They're not in the, how do I say? They don't have the looks that society wants them to have. Like, they don't meet the beauty standards, so they'll have it hard to have sex. So yes, that's there. Women can have it hard and men can have it easy. So this sweeping generalization that Stephen Crowder is saying that men have it hard and women have it easy is ridiculous. And because it's easy, then it's bad. So that means James Bond must be bad because he gets women easily, right? You're saying the reason, what I'm getting, is that the reason why it's bad for a woman to be promiscuous is because it's too easy and it proves that she's easy and will sleep with everyone. Well, for a man being promiscuous, it's an accomplishment because it's hard. That's basically what you're saying. However, if men have it easy, like I said, James Bond has it easy, wouldn't that mean that he's a whore like you said he was, and he's, despicable or degenerate because he's getting it easily? You know what I'm saying? Or all the men who do it, and about the women to get men is difficult for them, and the men they do get, and they get men, shouldn't that be an accomplishment for them because they got it the hard way? But no, it's not really about hard or easy. It's the fact that you guys want to be as sexual as you want to be, but you also want to control women's sexuality because you feel like, again, I can't understand that line of logic, but what I can at least theorize is that the reason they want to control women's sexuality is because they're afraid of it, and if they don't have control over women's sexuality, then they feel insecure and they don't feel like they're men. So that's basically they're too fragile to have women to be free, basically.
It's just injecting this where it doesn't need to be. I don't know. Look, you guys can come. I would be very surprised if black Americans were sitting around going, oh, I can't believe we don't have a black James Bond. What the fuck? I don't think that matters at all.
I agree with
Casino Royale's like, you guys gotta tell him to stop playing slot machines. And when he wins, he's just yelling.
Like, it's
and
the penny slots.
It's just he's drawing attention.
That's so disgusting. They're basically saying black people are just very loud and annoying, which is another stereotype. And usually they say it about black women. This is crazy, man.
Look,
They're nickels.
There's a dynamic with poker. It's about reading someone in their tell. You can't just go in with your state lottery ticket.
Hey, man.
So you're saying they're not smart enough for poker? Oh my
He
god.
just yelled "Full House, mother effer," and
Domino.
It's supposed to be undercover. What's going on?
Those are mahjong tablets. This is not domino.
Where have you learned to
I
play
love dominoes.
poker, Mister? Bingo, bitch! Ah!
he's outside with some of the waiters just playing dice.
Like with
I want to kind of skip. This is getting too much, bro. Like, I'm in shock. This is disgusting. I don't know if I can watch any more of this shit, man. I don't know if I want to watch any more of this shit. Seriously, I don't know if I want to watch, because this is so racist and disgusting. Like, it's actually bleh.
Could you imagine? Like, look, this is the whole. It's a UK culture at a moment in time, and it's totally fine. And I have no problem with Idris Elba being James Bond. My point is, it has to be a
You
woman.
have no
And
problem with it, but you've proceeded to be racist, misogynistic, and fat shaming. But you have no problem with it. You were racist as hell towards black people, but you don't have a problem with it, buddy. You made a bunch of jokes for no reason, the only reason is because he's black. If this was a white James Bond, another white James Bond, you wouldn't have made any of these jokes. Okay, buddy, you definitely have a problem. You might not have a problem with it, which I believe you do, but all of y'all in that room have a problem. Up here.
then they start with needs to be a woman of color. Well, really, they start with needs to be an LGBTQ woman of color who's part Native American and has rickets. And then they scale it back and go, all right, we'll just take a gay black guy. And you're like, okay, I guess James Bond always should have been a big gay black guy.
Well, my issue with it too is when they shoehorned Halle Berry into a James Bond movie, they also shoehorned her into John Wick. And when they do that, you're like, yeah, it's just your response because it's not the same thing.
Right.
It's like I don't want to see Charlie's Angels with 3 dudes. There's a reason why it's three ass kicking chicks.
Yeah.
Well, no, and the other way around, like with Black Panther, we didn't want like a white leader in Black Panther. Like we're not trying to take over these roles, so just make it work.
We weren't looking at the fountain fights in Dynasty going, that should be Bill Burr in there.
Why not?
No, Judith.
What, you guys are gonna throw? Okay, you're gonna throw me to fountain now, right?
Black Panther is different because Black Panther's culture and race is very important because he's based in African cultures, and his whole thing is like his suit, the way he talks, the way he thinks. It's all based on his culture and his race, and the way he's treated in the outside world is also very much based on his race and culture. So that's very different from James Bond, who is just supposed to be British, intelligent, charming, and cool. That's it. That's the requirements to be a James Bond. That's it. So anyone can really do that. But with Black Panther, it's a bit different because Black Panther is a cultural hero based on the African cultures, and the race is supposed to be from that continent as well, right? He's supposed to be from there. It's specifically based on a real life continent. So there's some real life sort of influences in Black Panther, so that's there. It's more race and cultural based, while James Bond is nationality based. So that's not a good argument, Stephen. Oh, freaking white shirt dude. It's not a good argument.
Because I'm not fucking not rich like you. Okay, all right. Now I'm in a fountain. Now who could have seen this one coming? All right.
Yeah, Judas and the Black Messiah would have been a lot different with the Panthers if the guy infiltrating it was white.
Yeah.
Like, wait.
Could you speak into my lapel of what your plans are to
Or
start the
Shaft
revolution?
just showed up. It was Adam Driver. And they're showing him on the security gate. Is this not you, Shaft? He's like, oh, I can't watch myself. All right.
You shoot him in the foot.
So anyway, the point is, this is absurd. But this isn't there. This is a constant theme of injecting race and gender into somewhere it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
And then people focus on that, and they focus on these chasms that we have in identity politics, and you miss the actions that you can take in your day-to-day life to improve it, and improve the lives of those in your community. And you know what? Also improve your relationships with people of other sexes. I don't use genders. Other sexes and other races. You want to know what black people think? Don't read what Vox says.
Yeah.
Go talk to someone. I will say this.
Oh yeah? Like you went and talked to that black street artist and then threatened to call the cops on him? Is that what you mean by talking to black people, Steven? Okay, brody. Okay, sure. We've seen you try to talk to black people. It doesn't work well.
Today, I've had far more pleasant interactions lately with black Americans than white feminists.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
well, of course.
They're so much friendlier. Like
I'm friends with black people.
Yeah, they go, hey, how you doing? And you're like, oh, the other day I just said, these guys who were actually working, they were painting in a garage next door. I said, how you doing, man? And I was carrying a bunch of stuff. I said, looks heavy. You need a hand? And I said, no, I should probably do it myself. I know how that is. And I said, how you doing? Just keeping on.
I'm in shock that a guy like this can actually exist in the modern world and be open about his racism and just be like, yeah, this is not racist. Huh? What? Bro, this is so ridiculous. Like it's funny to me because it's how openly racist he is and he doesn't get it. Maybe he does get it. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. But like, what is this? Like, what am I watching? It's like a movie that someone made as a joke about how stupid racists are. But this is real life.
I'm like, I never talk with white people. White people don't ask me how I'm doing.
There's no neighborly culture.
You're absolutely right. We've completely eliminated the idea of neighbors. And you have people complaining like, well, this guy's going to come into our country. It's like, you haven't even met the Flanagans next door.
Right.
What do you care?
And they're
you
calling
don't know
on you because your lawn is 3 inches too tall.
Yeah, that's right. And they call the cops. They don't even address you directly.
Right. Yeah. You report them to Homeland Security for their MAGA bumper sticker.
We need front porches again.
I'm with you, though. If I see a movie coming out, usually I'm much more interested in a black action movie. I love John Wick.
Equalizer?
Dude, Equalizer, or as I call it, Black Taken, far superior film.
Really great.
To Taken. Honestly,
yeah.
But it's Equalizer's a better movie.
I got a particular set of skills.
Right.
You got skills, I got skills, we both got skills. I got a particular set of skills.
He's the best actor. But yeah, it is amazing. He can do anything.
Yeah, no, it's great.
It's just I have no other skills. I can't sing or dance. The point is, James Bond is white,
That's all
and black guys are tougher than white guys in general.
And Denzel's best action.
He's great.
Denzel's
great.
We're okay.
What?
Man on Fire? Come on, guys.
See, so basically he can only accept black people in movies as long as they're being like shooting things and fighting and being violent or in action movies. But he can't accept them if they're being charming and intelligent and funny and getting women, all different types of women. He can only accept them through the lens of violence, which is action movies, right? And there's nothing wrong with enjoying action movies. But it's very telling that you can only accept black people in that context in the movies. You can't accept them otherwise. But you can accept them only in those type of contexts. Which means, like, and based on all the other racist shit that you and your stupid goons have been saying, I'm gonna guess it's because that's the only way you like to see them. That's the way you see them really as. That they're violent, that they're good at beating up people and fighting. And that's it. You don't want to see them as intelligent or charming or funny and good at doing more than just violence and things, being smart and sexy. And a lot of women find Idris Elba very sexy. So I think that's probably, I think that's why you don't like it. Deep down, it's racism. It's that's what it is. It's racism. And it's not even difficult to pick out because of how overt they were about it. Like, I'm actually in shock. And when I'm in shock, I start laughing. Because I'm usually in disbelief. It's like laughter, not because I find it funny. It's because it's like laughing in disbelief at what I'm seeing right now. It's like, what is this shit? What is this? This is one of the most racist, misogynistic, fat-shaming shit that I have seen in a long time. Wow, Steven. You really have reached new lows, my friend. And I shouldn't say my friend, but my friend in a sarcastic way. You really have. You need some help, man. Jesus. Right here. It's near Liverpool, Manchester. It's not even from Scotland. United Kingdom, Ireland. Edinburgh, Glasgow, Scotland. So look where Scotland is, and look where Chester is. Does this look like it's in Scotland to y'all? Does this look like it's in Scotland? Hey, definitely not in Scotland. Look at this. Look at this. It's all the way down here, and Scotland is all the way up here. And this idiot right here, where is he? Said James Bond is Scottish. His ancestral home is in Scotland. He's also a former Royal Navy officer. He wouldn't be credible for anything. Wouldn't be anything but a Scot. Daniel Craig is not even Scottish. Yet I'm pretty sure you weren't complaining about that, were you? Okay, buddy. Fucking exposed, bro. Light work. These guys are so stupid, conservatives. Alright, so basically, an absolute insane take by Steven Crowder. Like, wow, they were crazy, dog. How do you even, like... I don't know. I mean, I think I said everything I said. Racist, misogynistic, fat-shaming, Lizzo. Everything. They did everything. Like, they did the conservative, like... The two pillars of conservatism, they did. I mean, I don't know what fat-shaming is, but it is an extension. But I think they did misogyny and racism, which is, I think, a huge part of the Republican Party, pretty damn well. Good job. Wow. That was one of the most racist, horrible things that I've seen. And you guys saw me, like, going like this most of the time. I mean, I was in shock and I was laughing at how horribly stupid they are. Like, they don't even get that they're racist. They genuinely think that this is funny and they're not being racist. And like, oh, I have black neighbors and I talk to them and that means I'm not racist. I was just laughing at how ridiculous it is. Like, what the fudge was that, bro? That was crazy. What? My God, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, honestly.